back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
So this week we have on Grandma's new favorite person.
He's so gorgeous. I'm in love, but I'm a little too old for him, Kim.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little, I guess, too old for him too. He's 24, Harry Jowsey. We'll get to that interview in a bit, but first let's catch up a bit.
Okay, Kim. I know what's doing with you this week.
Yes. Unfortunately, I am single again. As people on here might know if they follow us, I'm going through a breakup now. Always want to be honest with you all. I know I mentioned I was seeing someone who is a great person, but yes, I am single again. And that's also why I brought Harry on this week, because he's so cute. But he has fuckboy tendencies. Do you remember what a fuckboy is?
I don't know what I have a feeling it's just somebody who likes to fool around a little bit, right?
Sort of. It's like a guy who plays with girls' feelings, like doesn't really like them, but would say anything to a girl to get what he wants, essentially.
I'm not a lover of that type of
Obviously
person,
not.
as you know.
Who is? I mean, you get why they could be like the girls would want to go out with them because they say the right things, but then as soon as you know someone's a fuckboy, you're out.
Yeah, they play with your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Harry. And don't worry, there's always a cover for every pot, my grandma used to say.
Oh, that's cute. Bringing something in from your grandma.
Uh-huh.
Okay, guys, we are joined by Harry Jowsey. You may know him from the Netflix reality show Too Hot to Handle, where he's gained millions of followers. He now has a podcast called Tap In with Harry Jowsey. Thanks for joining us, Harry.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
This is the first time I haven't truly prepped Grandma Gail on a guest, and I'm excited about what the dynamic is going to be.
I don't know. I don't know if the dynamic is going to be good or bad, but he's very handsome.
I feel like we're
shirtless interview.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any clothes.
Don't stand up then.
I won't. Yeah, I'll give you guys an eyeful. But I got out of the shower. I had a meeting just before this. And then the meeting went a little bit over. So I just was like, I need to put a hat on. Yeah.
Your age, where you're from, and your relationship status.
Okay, so I'm 24. I'm from this small country coastal town called Yeppoon in Australia. And I am very single.
Oh, very single. We like.
Why did I think you were in a relationship, Harry?
I've kind of been pushing that idea online a little bit. Like I was seeing this person or see this girl for not like, I guess like 2 weeks. I don't know. We've just been hanging out and I kind of just was like, I'm going to clear my roster. Like I want people to think that I'm like unavailable and I don't want anyone to come near me because like this year I'm very focused on my goal. And I feel like if everyone thinks I'm in a relationship, they're either going to like just stay away from me and like let me hone in because relationships are a lot of energy, you know?
Yeah, it takes a lot of work.
What's your goal?
Just to further my career along a lot more and invest a lot more instead of getting carried away and because I did a little bit too much of that last year.
So she wasn't the one to change you.
No.
What is there to change in this guy?
Well, I don't know. He has like a pretty wild dating and sex life. Like, would you say you're a fuckboy, Harry?
I think I have fuckboy tendencies. I feel like I'm a little bit of fun, but I think I'm pretty good now. I think I'm pretty solid. Like, we all have our fun. Hey, grandma, you get out, you get about.
About 90 years ago, I had some fun. I don't remember having fun recently.
Would you ever share your body count with grandma, or are you too nervous?
I don't think we need to talk about
You don't want to know it?
No, I don't want to know it.
What?
His body?
No. Do you know what a body count is? So I guess you don't get to know. Fine. Let's say more than one woman a day. Often?
Me?
Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
No,
Okay, good. Okay.
No. Like 3 or 4 a day. No, I'm joking. Not that much.
Could be a little bit too much.
All right.
Let the poor guy relax during the day. One at night is enough.
Wait, I wanted to ask also because I saw on Netflix's bio today, it said flirt. What is it? Account to flirt with Harry Jowsey. What is that about?
Yeah, I actually don't know. Like I'm pretty good. I'm really good friends with the social, well, all of Netflix. Like I'm really good friends with them and we're pretty close. And I always comment on their stuff just for like a bit of a laugh. And yesterday I commented something I don't know, it was a little bit flirty, and they replied back like really flirty. And then I just said, just shut up and kiss me. And then they changed their bio to that. And I was like, this is so crazy. So we'd be going back and forth. And then even in the DMs, it's like, I was actually, because I don't know which person's on the account. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, can we do a face reveal? Like, what's going on?
You are.
Yeah, it's so funny.
No, it's crazy.
Oh, for our viewers, especially for my contemporaries, or a little, what is your claim to fame?
I think the reality show Taught to Handle was the thing that kind of put me on the map and really helped my career and pushed me in a way that I couldn't have imagined. But yeah, ever since then, I think the podcast has been the most rewarding thing that I've done, and little shows here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain? I watched the series, but can you explain to my grandma the concept of Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah. Bruce, come here.
Don't worry about
Bruce
it.
is not happy.
He doesn't want you to know. No, we just got this new piece of like artwork, this like little doll over there.
Oh,
I
that's
see it.
cool.
Yeah,
Our
but
viewers can't see it.
but he doesn't like it. He keeps like,
Oh, he thinks it's
he's having like a Mexican standoff. But so Taught to Handle, pretty much it is a whole bunch of horny people on an island, and you're not allowed to kiss, spoon, have sex, beat
You're not
off.
allowed.
So if you do any of that, you lose money off the prize fund. And the smart people who wanted to like get more social media followers just started spending money, and that's kind of what I did. I just started having sex.
Fun. And on the show, did you coin the term on the show like boyfriend dick? That because I feel like everyone says that now. Like, did you create that?
I don't know if I actually created it. I had someone say that to me one time, like after because we were hooking up for a while.
Mhm.
I think maybe I helped put it on the map a little bit more, or like made it a little bit more acceptable, because you have these like monster cocks, and there's just hey grandma.
Really? I mean, are there any out of the ordinary? Do you have to interview for that position? I mean, who looks at that? The
I think-
producers?
No. They didn't look at it while interviewing for the show. Just saying in general, some have
Yeah.
big ones, some have
Oh,
small ones.
all right.
But right, there's a sweet spot. That's boyfriend dick.
That
Am
you-
I-
yeah.
did I describe that right?
Yeah, like you just feel comfortable and like happy and like content, like these.
We would have all been content.
Oh my
The other thing that I love that you do, Harry, and I'm curious what grandma thinks of this, is like give everyone little nicknames. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's so like, what's an example? Because I'm gonna.
So yesterday I was calling these girls my little hummingbirds, or like
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that
little
is-
dumplings.
Is it because you don't actually know their name?
No, I feel like it's a cute and playful way. Like I don't want to be like, "Hey Susan, how you
Right.
doing?" Like,
Yeah.
"What's up, Margaret?" Because like that, everyone does that. It makes me a little bit more memorable,
Mhm.
especially because people don't really know like what I'm going to call them, or
Yeah.
what mood I'm in, or what's going to happen. So it just makes life a little bit more enjoyable, and
It
it's
also sounds good with his accent.
Yeah. Anything sounds good with the
I mean, if
accent.
somebody else said it, they would think it was awful, but he's so cute and he's oh, it's adorable. I
Yeah.
don't think a
Flirting
guy on
with
the
me?
street in Brooklyn who calls somebody a hummingbird is going to sound so good.
Yeah. Let's touch on your past relationships a little bit because they're usually in the spotlight, I would say. Francesca on Too Hot to Handle. So, like, someone from the reality show.
Okay.
That was pretty public and it was like, on again, off again, right? So, do you have advice for people who are kind of in those scenarios of should we, shouldn't we?
I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from all relationships is if they wanted to, they would. So if they wanted to put an effort, or if they wanted to communicate, or if they really wanted to be together, they would. Like no matter what it is. Like I've been in like there was a really long distance relationship where I was here in LA. I was dating someone back in Sydney, Australia, and we made it work. We like I just think that a lot of people put up like barricades and like stop signs, and I think that's why a lot of relationships go like off again and on again, because they're like, oh, maybe there's someone better over here, maybe this situation's better. Like I just think that if you really want to be with someone, you'll be with them, you'll figure it out, there's no questions asked. If you keep umming and ahhing, like I don't think you should be in a relationship whatsoever, because you're just going to waste your own time and your own energy, and you're going to feel tired and drained. And you might, you never know, your wife or your husband might be like five steps away, and you're just wasting your time with someone.
What's a red flag for you?
I think a red flag would be someone who doesn't have goals. Like for my biggest thing is I need to be around people that are motivated and driven, because it gets me, like I feed off people's energy, and people in my circle, like I have the most amazing friends, and they're all focused on where they want to be and how to be better people. And if I'm seeing someone who just wants to wake up at 2 p.m. and go eat and then shop or spend my money, it makes me like a little bit like turned off, and like I need to stay away from you.
Yeah. Do you have a type?
My comment section say that I do. Like my comment section, all my followers tell me that I have a type, but I guess it's
type, I guess, right?
well, I guess it's just some of the girls that I've posted. Like I think I don't, like in private, like I'm pretty attracted to anything. Like I'm pretty attracted to people's energy. And yeah, I think I don't. I think I'm attracted to people's energy, but everyone else tells me I am.
Yeah. And you have some pretty crazy ex stories, right? Like I feel like once I heard that someone keyed your car.
Yeah, that was well deserved. Like I didn't realize that I told her not to worry about this other girl. Turns out the other girl was posting stories in my bed. So like it was well deserved, but she did start like stalking me. Like she showed up to my gym. She was waiting outside. It was crazy, but I probably deserved it, to be honest.
You know how you're 24, you're entitled to do whatever you want.
Well, not if you're in a relationship.
Well, he's
like
not in a relationship at 24. He's having fun. A guy alone. He's having a good time, and he can play the field.
Yeah.
I'm sure his mother tells him that. I don't think they want him to settle down so fast.
Are you close with your parents, Harry?
Just my mom. I'm really trying to get back close with my dad a little bit, but we have a bit of a disjointed family. We had a really good upbringing, but it got to a point where alcohol kind of separated the whole family a little bit. And I did a big retreat at the start of the year where it made me kind of reflect on my actions and how I only get one dad, I only get one mom, and I only get one brother. So like I just have to put my ego to the side and try and move forward and rebuild those bridges. So I'm doing my best to get close to my family again, but I'm pretty much just a mama's boy. Like I do anything for her.
Do they still live in Australia?
My dad lives in the middle of the bush somewhere in New Zealand. My mum's on a little farm in Australia, and I don't know where my brother is. I think he's just being a hippie somewhere. He's got long hair and a beard, and he looks like he smells, but we still love him.
What about your relationship with your grandparents growing up, or like if they're, I don't know if they're still around, but we always like to ask our guests.
Yeah, so it's going to sound pretty sad, but I only met my grandma once. My dad had a bit of had a bit of resentment towards his mother. And my mum lost her parents, I think in a house fire or something. So I never got to see her side of the family. And then my dad's side, he had a resentment towards him, and I only met her once. And then she unfortunately passed away, I think like a couple of months ago as well. So it sucks. I really did miss.
I'll be your grandma.
I'm sure you will.
Please, I would love that. I miss that whole part of my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah. So what does your mom ever give you relationship advice?
I give my mom relationship advice. I try to help her as much as I can. I told her she needs to go get some young Italian stallion and just get her backbone out. Sorry, grandma. But
that's right.
Yeah, I want my mom to just be young, wild, and free again. I don't think my mom would be able to give me any advice on my my life. My life's a little bit crazy, and I don't think any of my families would be able to chime in on what I get up to.
Yeah, that's fair. So I love your podcast. How did that first get started?
It was kind of crazy. So I went on Call Her Daddy, and the producer there kept texting me. He's like, "Hey, like you need to have your own podcast." And I was like, "Oh, come on, dude, like leave me alone. Like I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that." And we sat down and just chopped it up for an hour, and it was just so much fun. I really enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed like just laughing and like kicking around. And then before I knew it, we just we didn't stop making episodes. Like I don't think we've had 1 week off. Like it's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. I just really love just like talking to people, because like how many times do you get to just turn your phone off and just like talk to someone for an hour? You know, like it doesn't really happen.
Especially during COVID, we haven't had much time at all.
Exactly. You know, we're all on our phones on TikTok, and like it gives me a chance to put it on Do Not Disturb or turn my phone off and
Yeah.
just like hang out with you guys for an hour.
Yeah. With TikTok, we're on TikTok as well. Grandma's still like, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but we're loving it. That's like our biggest platform. I love yours as well. How do you get ideas for content?
Um, I think I just take the piss out of myself. Like I realize that like no one's looking at me for advice. No one's looking at me to get any value. They just want to laugh at me. So
Yeah.
I use what I was blessed with, and it was a good personality. So I just pretty much whenever I see a funny trend or someone else's idea, I usually will just build on it with my own ideas. Because I find that's the best way to make content is to see something that's doing really well, and then like cool, like I'm gonna mimic that, but in my own flavor, and then go from there. It usually does well.
Well, that's what we're doing too, Kim.
Yeah, exactly.
We're having fun with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was all little girls dancing originally, but now we're dancing around.
No, we've never done a dancing
No,
video
we haven't.
ever.
No, that would be bad. Even I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would love to see you.
No, not dancing. We've done cooking. We've done makeup. We've done.
We
all
do
kinds
like
of silly
grandma
things.
interpreting text messages from guys. So
Right.
like if a
That's-
guy texts like you up, like grandma will like guess what that is. That's like what
Oh, cute.
We're multi-generational.
Yeah. And then you're pretty much on every platform. Like you're even on OnlyFans, right? And that I saw when I was
Explain what that is, Kimmy. You've got people out here that don't know that.
Harry, can you explain?
So OnlyFans is like a subscription-based platform where your favorite creators can just pretty much post whatever they want. So they can get raunchy, they can post sex tapes, so like anything you want. But most importantly, it's a good platform for like your audience or your fans to connect with you and talk more with you. Damn, I should be a salesperson.
Is
No,
that
seriously.
for adults only? That's not on a porn thing, is it, Kim?
I mean, people post porn on
Oh,
there.
they do.
But they also like some people don't.
Yeah, some people post like cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you keep kids off that thing? Is that
You
a
got- I think it's 18 plus. Yeah, it's 18 plus for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although anybody who like downloads the app, they can just say, yes, I'm 18. So I don't know
Okay.
how much that actually.
All right, we got troubles here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
This is not good.
no, it's good though for creators because
Yeah.
like you can make millions of dollars on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty
No, as
crazy.
long as it's adults, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a lot of like people, especially in LA, like participate in that. Harry, I know you're living there now. Like, do you ever feel like people in LA, because we're from New York City, like, and it's very different there. I feel like not that many people, I'm never like, are they hanging out with them for the wrong reason? But I feel like in LA, is that like something you're ever worried about?
I think that I'm pretty good at I guess I just love people's energy. And if you feel like if I'm not getting bad vibes or whatever, I just go with the flow. Like I take everyone is like a grain of salt. Like some people, I'm sure they've got ill intentions, and I know that I've like fallen into relationships where people were either using me or trying to, I guess, milk clout or whatever, or I don't know, any of that stuff out of me. But I just go into all these relationships. Like I have my best friends, and like all my friends aren't influencers. They aren't in this scene. They aren't doing any of this stuff. Like the influencers that we do hang out with, like they're good people. Like I love them. And yeah, like I think after being here for a couple of years, like quickly realized like how interesting it is. Like when there's a new person like coming up, everyone's like moths to a flame, and then they like disappear and go to the next person to like milk their clout out of them. It's really
That is very LA. And
Yeah.
not New York. That's very
it's very interesting, but it's also like I guess it's the name of the game. Like you can't like hate on it because like it works for people, and everyone's having a good time. Like no one like it's like mutually beneficial for everyone. But it is very interesting. It is very weird to see the dynamic and how like people operate here.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely friends with some influencers I've seen. Like some of my girlfriends were like, ask Harry about his relationship with Tana. Are they just friends? I don't buy it. Can you give us any tea?
Yeah. So we've never there's never been a moment in my entire life where I've been like, I want to sleep with Tana. We've always been friends.
Can women and men be friends?
Well, yeah, I think probably not. Maybe eventually. I think in the beginning, there's always some kind of sexual.
Like what I won't I goes through your head.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think for women especially, but then can I be friends with a man? It's usually because I'm attracted to him. But then eventually I think you can be friends if you don't have that sexual tension. I
Yeah.
think
Right.
you can be.
But I think it's
You
never,
have some friends that are strictly male
yes,
friends.
that I've had forever.
Yeah,
And
well,
like,
so it can happen.
yeah, no, I know it can happen. I just think there's always like the first, when you're becoming friends with someone, the first thing that goes through your head is like, would this be a potential like boyfriend or hookup or whatever it is? And then I'm like, all right, what about friends? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like there's some people that I meet and I'm like, you'd be like a great like little sister. Like I want to take care of you and look after you.
Right.
I obviously, yeah, I do feel like there's always that judgment period where you're like, oh, do I want to sleep with them? How do I feel about it? But I think with Tana, like I just, ever since I met her, I was like, oh, you're just funny. You're like me,
Yeah.
like I can hang out with you and like everything's fine. But I never
Need
saw
those
it.
kind of people. You need those kind of people around you, people
Mhm.
that you like, that you can be with. That it's not necessarily ending up in bed. You're having a talk with. You can go for dinner with. You can enjoy an
Exactly.
afternoon with.
Yeah, we need people like that. But yeah, nothing's ever happened. Nothing's ever
Okay,
gone
Mhm.
that
then
way.
you can tell your friends, Kim. Don't bother 'em.
Yeah. In any of your relationships, have you ever like met the parents or met the family?
Yeah, I met grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters. I've always been a little bit nervous, but turns out like I'm a little bit more fun when I'm around people's families. I guess I really shine when I'm with someone else, like with my girlfriend's mom or whatever. So yeah, I really do enjoy it, and I guess it's kind of weird because it's only happened a handful of times, but it's a lot of fun, especially when they have open
Yeah.
up.
I can't hear, but I'm seeing his body.
She's getting so
I'm getting
distracted.
I'm having like a palpitation here. So move back a little, Harry.
I don't want to move too far back. You'll see it a little bit much.
Oh no.
People could see this, they would just be
Well, we'll
hysterical.
clip something, but
Okay. Don't clip if he stands up.
are there any general tips, Harry, that you would give our listeners about dating or sex or anything along those lines?
I don't think he's going to give any tips.
I think he has good advice. I don't know.
I think what people get strung up on is that they think that we all get a second chance at life. Like we're all going to come back one day. Like my biggest thing is, if it doesn't feel right, if you have a bad feeling in your gut, if it feels like it's a passion project instead of a fun, loving and playful relationship, then get the fuck out of it. Like don't waste your time. Like
you'd have good advice.
there's like 8 billion people on the planet. Like you don't need to be like wasting your time with your childhood sweetheart when you know like this person down here is like, I don't know. I just think that people get way too strung up and like want to drag stuff on like way too long, or like hold on to boys that are just bad news. And like everyone around you is telling you it's bad news, but you've just got love goggles on. Like think any age, my best friend, he married, had kids, and then there was one point where he was just like, you know what, I didn't realize, but I'm actually attracted to men. And we had this whole conversation with him, and he's like, what do I do? Like, do I stay? I'm like, come on, man. Like, you are going to live a very unhappy life if you keep lying to yourself. Like, if this is what you're attracted to, if this is the route that you want to go down, then you have to be truthful and honest with yourself. Because, the last thing I'd want anyone to do is ruin their mental health or jeopardize themselves or be dishonest and live an unhappy life if they're trying to lie or keep other people happy. Like, I think when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, people have to look inwards and be a little bit more selfish and take a little bit more care of their heart and their mind before trying to please other people and make it about them. Because again, like we're gonna like life is that it's quick,
Totally. What are your knuckle tattoos?
It actually means cheetah in Japanese.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got really drunk one night, and it's actually my friend's company. It's a multi-billion-dollar toy company. We're really drunk, we're mucking around, and I was like, oh, we had this really bizarre bet that almost went through. And my part of the bet was I have to get your company tattooed on me. So I was really drunk, and I was like, you know what, on my knuckles would be great. And it turns out in Japanese it means cheater or something. And then I'm currently getting it removed. I have a few more sessions.
Cheater or cheetah?
Like cheetah, like
cheater, like you're cheating on somebody.
Oh, I couldn't go with the accent.
No,
I was like, cheetah, that's cool. Well, that's good PR for him, I guess. So we like to play this game with all of our guests, Grandma Gail's old-fashioned dating quiz.
This is not going to work with him. This is
I already,
not
because you know
working.
the answer, you mean?
Yeah.
Basically, we go through a few scenarios and we decide whether you are an old-fashioned dater or more of a modern dater.
Right. This is good.
Oh.
Okay, it's like quick rapid fires. So would you rather get a call or a text from the person you're dating?
A text.
Sleep with someone on the first date?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
answering quick.
Sure, I knew. What is he going to say?
Dating apps or setups?
Setups.
Okay. Are you on any apps?
Just my own.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Wait, do you want to give a little plug?
Oh yeah, no, just it's called Lolly. It's a dating app. It's really good. It's only in America though at the moment. So yeah, I'm only on there.
Okay. Would you move in together before getting engaged or wait until you're engaged to move in?
I'd probably move in within a month.
A month of dating or a month of no?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's too short. He's going to move in. He's going to have a good
But
time.
then you're gonna
He's
move
moving
out.
He's moving out again. He's
It doesn't matter. It'll be fun. It's a
But,
it's a
like,
lesson.
No leases are 1 month. So like, what do you? Every time you have to find a new apartment?
Well, they can move in here and then I can just kick them out if I get bored.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yes, you have to. This is his lifestyle. He's 24.
Okay. Should the man pay for the date or alternate?
I think it's cute if the woman offers, but like I'll take care of everything. But I don't know. That's just me. But I think like for some other friends, I think they do appreciate if if they offered a split or whatever. But
Yeah.
I really don't care. Like I pay for all my friends. I pay for everything. So like I would rather take care of it.
So yeah, more of a modern dater.
Yeah, he has one traditional one.
Harry, this was so fun.
You're great, Harry.
Tell our listeners how they can follow you.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. My name is Harry Jowsey, Jowsey, and you can find me everywhere with that.
You can see all these old people are going to be now looking you up. You're going to have to block them.
I hope so. I like my cougars.
Good.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode with Harry. Before we end, let's get to some listener questions because we've gotten a few over the last few weeks that I wanted to get to, but we just haven't had time in our episodes. One girl wrote, "Hi, Kim and Grandma. I want to hear Grandma's thoughts on my friend's relationship. We recently had a Christmas party, and afterwards, her boyfriend stormed out of the apartment, drunk, threatening to drive home because he didn't like the jokes she made during the party. She then told me this is normal for her, and I'm not sure how to break it to her that this is really toxic behavior because every time I say something about being concerned for her, she gets extremely defensive. Help."
Well, Kim, this is a problem. This girl, her friend, really has. Firstly, the guy was drunk, and I don't know what if he got into a car or what he did to leave the party. That in itself is no good. I think the friend can only say it. I'm sure she said it more than once, and I think her friend has to at some point either listen to her, or if you want to continue being her friend, you got to stop bothering her. There's not much else you can do.
Wait, so you would say to tell her friend what to do or stay out of it?
I think if she has spoken to her several times and she is continuing this relationship, if she wants to keep the friendship, she has to stop talking about the young man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, though, if it becomes actually toxic where you're worried about her mental health,
well, then you should reach out to her parent or somebody else who's also close to her.
Exactly.
But you can't keep nagging. That
No.
just ends up in a friendship ending.
yeah, sometimes people have to learn their own lessons.
Mhm.
Okay, this one's not really a question, but it's a DM that I received that I think is just, obviously I didn't respond to it, but you're going to laugh. "Hey, Kim, you're so cute. Scenario for you. I'm going to the one and only Mandarina outside of Puerto Vallarta in mid-March with a bunch of people for my buddy's B-Day. Would you have any interest in joining me? I'm a Jewish divorced dad looking to have fun. It can be platonic, no strings attached. Let me know your thoughts if you want to run it by Grandma. I'm sure she'd sign off."
Grandma is saying I wouldn't even consider
Yeah.
that kind of invitation. First of all, what are you, a party rental out? You rent out your services?
It's so disrespectful.
It
Obviously, I
certainly
didn't
is.
even respond or acknowledge this,
Good
but
idea.
the fact that people are even sending messages like this.
I think people are just, I think they're trying to be cute, but it doesn't come off well. And, there are still some standards that everybody should be living by.
Yeah, I mean, not to be judgmental, but anybody who would accept an invitation with strangers seems a little strange.
Well, if people are very, very lonely, which
Yeah.
many are during this last 2-year COVID period,
True.
they might go along with it, but that's a recipe for disaster.
Right. Okay. Someone wrote in a question. I had a little bit of a back and forth with them. I actually really don't agree with this girl. I don't want to judge her though. So she said, I sent a friend request to a guy and his fiance told him to block me and he blocked me. Is this normal when a woman told a guy to block someone? And they do. They moved in together for about 2 years. He bought her a ring, but they haven't got married. My question is, when a woman told a guy to block someone on social media, that can't be a healthy relationship. Is she afraid of me? What do you think?
I think this girl has a problem.
Yep.
I mean, these people are in a relationship.
Leave them alone.
I think the young woman is absolutely correct in telling her fiance to block the call, and I
Yeah.
think she better attend to her own personal problems and get out of this 3-way triangle
Totally.
that she's gotten herself into.
Yeah, she seemed to really not be in a good place. So
Correct.
I did respond, and I was like, I think you should like focus on yourself, like and be a woman supporting another woman, and like stay out of this relationship.
Good, Kim. That sounds good.
Someone wrote in, huge fan. Okay. I've been dating my boyfriend for a little under a year. In the beginning of our relationship, he casually told me he was in contact with his ex-girlfriend of 5 years. They were communicating because she traveled to work abroad and had stuff left at his house. They broke up in 2019. We started dating in 2021. After communicating with him how uncomfortable I was with this, he ended the texting, but he kept keeping small things from me, like lying about things he's gotten from her, not stating his phone code was actually her old garage code, and forgetting about his phone from high school that had old photos of them together. Part of me wants to believe he's forgetful and the past is the past. However, something's not sitting right with me. This all occurred within the year we've been dating. Let me know your thoughts.
Well, this is an issue. It could be that he's truly forgetful and hasn't gotten rid of certain old things that he had that were connected to his old girlfriend. I think also if you're in a relationship, you should trust him.
Yeah.
She's not here. She's not on the scene right now. And but if she has so many doubts, then I think it needs to be talked out. And don't hold it all in, because then she'll never feel like he's really telling her the truth.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. I would give people more credit than that. Like, I don't think anyone's that forgetful.
Okay. All right. Good advice. Tell her to be careful.
You're right. Oh, someone wrote, random question. Did Grandma ever go to a Sinatra concert?
No, I was actually, by the time, he was a little before my time. He was actually my mother's time in the 40s. By the time I was married, he was already in his decline in the early 60s. And, but I do love his music.
But he's mostly 50s, right?
40s.
Oh,
He was very
really?
big in the 40s and 50s.
Right. Interesting. Okay, that's disappointing. I would have liked
He's
to go
still
to
the greatest voice
Yeah.
that ever sang.
Yeah. For those who listen to our podcast who don't watch our TikTok, we wanted to talk about some of the videos that we made this week. Something Grandma and I do is she interprets some of the text messages from guys that I've received or people I know have received, and kind of tells us what she thinks that they mean.
In a funny way.
In a fun-
we don't
yeah.
do anything too serious.
Right. So, for example, like a text that we have received before could be like, sorry, I haven't seen your text. I haven't had my phone. What are you up to tonight?
And Grandma always says if the guy hasn't seen his text, there's something wrong with him because he's carrying around his phone 24/7.
Right. So I do agree with that. But since I'm the one with the TikTok and you don't see what people comment, A lot of people agree and a lot of people disagree if we want to kind of go through it. Okay, so like someone said, lots of people don't look at their phone for periods of times throughout the day. We need to stop shaming people for not communicating as fast as we want.
Well, Kim, there always is an exception, but I can honestly say from the 9 million trillion people that I have run into, they're all carrying their phones and they're looking down so much during the day and the evening. For the occasional person who isn't looking at it all the time, I apologize.
Yeah, and also like I have friends and have dated people who are in very serious jobs. And like they take a lunch break and you can send one text.
Exactly. It just takes 2 seconds to send a text.
Yeah, like I don't care if you're so busy. Like, yeah, you don't have to be texting me all day long, but I don't know. I think that
it's an excuse.
It's an excuse. Another thing that we talked about in this video, like I said that I don't like when people say, hey, I'll make a res and not say reservation, like res with a Z. And so many people were like, you're so fussy. Why are you so picky? You're going to be single and 40. Like, first of all, guys, I'm obviously joking. Like, I would never not go out with someone because they said res. But does res bother me? Yeah. And I'm allowed to think that.
And you're allowed, Kim. Whatever. It's your day. If you don't like it, don't go out with the guy again.
Exactly. Like, you guys can go out with someone who says res. And like a lot of people were like, I agree with the Z thing. It's lazy and off-putting. And I'm like, you get me, guys.
Okay.
So yeah, things like this happen on our TikTok if you want to follow us at Excuse My Grandma. We also rated celebrity men this week.
And it's a lot of fun. So tune in and listen to us because you'll really have a laugh.
And that's at Excuse My Grandma to follow us. Another great week. We have so many exciting guests coming up, and we're excited to see you guys week after week. So